welcome to the program, The Viewpoint with Precious and Yemen. My name is Precious and Yemen. The Viewpoint is a program that will talk about real life experiences from personalities, individual, politics, relationship, entertainment. In simple way, we talk about family values, political values, and take it across all sectors of life. And you know what? There's somebody that I think maybe right now you should know who always say this word, clean money. When he wants to talk to you, he always clean money, clean money, clean money. And that is the guest we have today. No other person than Bashiru Lawrence Ali, popularly known or called as Bash Ali, the world champion, the one who has named for himself and for the country, the one who has inspired himself so much in terms of wrestling and boxing, and he settled on boxing, and he got so many awards, becoming the champion, and he has a project coming up. This is what we're going to be finding out for him. What next? This was the update for this project. I want to hear a background about himself, success story, challenges, and what do you think the role the government is playing? Because I am the world champion fight that is coming from this project. This is all we're going to be having onto this conversation with Bashili. And I want to say Happy New Month again. And Happy New Month to the May people celebrate, because I'm born May 9th and my birthday is last week. So now we bring our guest to you. We'll fully introduce him to you, the world champion who has been named for himself and for the country. Thank you. So back to your guest, the world champion, Bashili.
Bashili. You know, everywhere I go, I always sing my song, Bashali, you are very great. You're great in Nigeria, you're great in America. Bashali, you are very great. I always like to praise myself, because in this country they wait for you to die before they praise you. So I praise myself while I'm alive. And happy birthday, in advance.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, what we want to know more about you, can you give us a background about yourself?
Well, I was born and raised in Lagos. At the age of 10 years, I became a wrestler. So I was known as the strongest schoolboy in the world. At the age of 12, I became the wrestling champion. At the age of 18, I got the wrestling scholarship to go to America. So I went to America, to continue, wrestling. But when I got there, I saw these big, husky guys, wrestlers. And here I was, about 5'11", 160 pounds. I mean, these guys are about 7 feet, 400, 500 pounds. I said, no, I can't do this. I said, I should change. So I just decided that forget about wrestling. Wrestling is not for me. These people are too big. I'm too small. Then, I decided, to go to school. I went to University of California. One day, I was looking for a job. And as I was going through the streets, I'll never forget, this was in Oakland, California. And I saw a big picture of Muhammad Ali. And I went inside, just to see what's going on. And there were 2 boxing rings, and there were some boxers inside sparring. So I stood there, I was looking at them, I was just daydreaming. Then I can be like Muhammad Ali, make a lot of money in boxing and stuff like that. Just daydreaming. And then one of the trainers came to me, Clarence Douglas, I never forget, came to me and tapped me on the shoulders. He said, you want to come and train with us? I said, yes. He said, have you fought before? I said, yes. I said, Nigerian champion. He said, good. He says, come back tomorrow now and train with us. So I said, okay. I went back home. I was very, very excited. I couldn't wait, for the next day to come. And I was looking in the mirror. I mean, I didn't know how to throw a punch, didn't know a jab from a hook, but I was just doing something, in the mirror, for the next day. And the next day I went, and the rest is history. Got there, and I did not even have the boxing trunks, because I didn't know anything about boxing. So the trainer had to give me boxing trunks, put it on. And I sparred with this guy called Woods, big heavyweight. I stepped inside the ring, and the guy was punching me because he knew what to do and I didn't know. So I was swinging like a woman. And after each round is 3 minutes. So after 2 minutes, he said, stop. Come out. So I came. I said, damn. He said, what's wrong with you? He says you are a champion, and is this the way you fight? And I told him. I said, no. I said, I never fought before. He said, you never fought before? Said, and you go inside the ring and you did that because he was happy because I was courageous. I was not pulling back because this guy was hitting me. I was trying to hit him back. He says, okay, you know what? I will teach you how to fight. Because you have a heart. I said, okay. That was how we started. 6 months of training. 6 months of training. I went inside the ring and became a professional boxer. Never fought as an amateur. Never went to any regional. I'm the only boxer in the world to train. I'm from training straight to the professional. And since then, I've not looked back. Since then, I've won every cruiserweight title conceivable. I'm a cruiserweight underneath the heavyweight. I've won the California cruiserweight title, United States Boxing Association, North America Boxing Federation, World Boxing Council International twice, and the current World Boxing Federation. And now, I want to put my name in the Guinness World Record as the oldest boxer to ever win a world title. So I'm ready. I feel good.
Wow, that is good. So
Definitely.
now, like, can you share with us your journey into the boxing for just like 1 minute more?
Well, it has not been easy. Today you are a world champion. The world knows you. They celebrate you. You are a big deal. Tomorrow you lose. You go down. You have to start all over again. So that's why I always say it's good to get your education. Nobody can defeat you and take your degree from you. You get your education, you have that for life, And that's number one. You get your education. Number two, I've been in some terrible fights. Fights like I will never forget, when I fought a guy who couldn't really punch. But, I was so confident, I was talking to him and he hit me right in my chin and broke my jaw in round 2. And we have to go 10 rounds, you can imagine the pain. I went back to my corner, and I put my head in the bucket, to spit out. I couldn't because they did not have control of my jaw anymore. So now, my corner, I had to make sure that they put in the water and then I had to close and try to spit out. And then they blocked the referee from saying it. Because if he sees that my jaw is fractured, they will stop the fight. So I had to go another 8 rounds with fractured jaw. But then I went 10 rounds, I won, and that was one of my toughest fights. I still won the fight. It was supposed to be one of the toughest.
You are an
extraordinary human being. I would have given up, but I just decided that there's no need, to give up. We're here to fight. It's either you kill me or I kill you, and I'm not going to let you destroy me. So I just went on and won, So I've been through some horrible fights. But, this is part of it. Boxing is not a beauty contest. It's a contest where knockdown, drag out, the snot come out of your nose, blood, coming out of your eyes, ears. So it is a brutal business. I do it because of the money. But if boxing was free, I would never fight. But I do it for money. This was why, when I trained 6 months, my trainer was very excited. Was saying, do you know what you will train? You go to the Olympics. I said, which Olympics? He said, the Olympics, and then you can get trophies. I said, no. I want to fight for money. When you beat me up, when you throw punches, you give me money. And this was how, I started. So I do boxing because of money. I'm not in love with it. It's a job. I go to work, I beat you up, the world celebrates me, I'm very happy, I go home and relax, enjoy my money and come back again and beat you.
Do you know what got my attention is when you didn't give up? Because to me,
never.
I thought that was all for you. Since you already got in a
broken jaw. No,
so
never.
That means it's a word, it's a saying that we should never give up. Don't give up until it's over.
It is not over until it's over.
Wow.
And this is what, this has always been my goal. This is my principle. You never give up until you get what you're supposed to get. And this is why you always have just few people who are champion, and you have very, very few people who are extraordinary. And that's what I consider myself as extraordinary.
Yes,
Look, Before I came to Nigeria, boxing was dead. There was nobody boxing in Nigeria. I came in 1987. I don't know if you were born then.
No,
I came in 1987. Boxing was dead. I became the resurrector of boxing in Nigeria. Yeah, I brought attention of boxing. We were promoting boxing, so I became the Jesus Christ. I woke up. No, it's true. I woke up the game from the dead, the resurrector of boxing. Then, in September 9, 2000, I fought the then champion, Terry Ray. I intimidated him, broke him down physically, and knocked him out. And then I became the champion. So I became the black Moses, because the white Moses could not take the Israelites to the promised land. But I, Bashali, as a black Moses, I took Nigerians to the promised land. Now, I want to be the god of boxing by putting my name in the Guinness World Record as the oldest boxer to ever win a world title. And this is what we are doing, and we're going to put it together. Although there has been some obstacles caused by corruption. I had a press conference not too long ago where I spoke directly to Mr. President. I said, Mr. President, a Guinness World Record fight has never held on the soil of Africa. This is going to be the first and the most lucrative in terms of promotion, in terms of sales of souvenirs, because we want to see this old man from Africa fighting this young, strong white American. So they want to see, and then they will pay. As I'm talking to you, 132 countries have agreed to come to Nigeria. 132 countries coming to Nigeria to be part of boxing history. The federal government has written to them that yes, Nigeria is a safe country. Come here, we welcome you. Everything will be all right. I'm trying to do a Guinness World Record fight, but we're having some stumbling blocks. This was why I had a press conference not too long ago to let Mr. President know the situation of things, so we can intervene, so we can put things on the way.
I'm going to hold your eye there. When we come back from the break, we'll get that information covered.
All right.
Welcome back from this short break. Our guest here is Bashili, the world champion who was made me from the south of the country. And this was coming out who won fights, another fight at the age of 60 something, 68.
69. Boxing to shock the world.
Who do you want to fight? And he said he's an extraordinary person.
Yes.
And not just that, he said the fight is not just a fight, but to boost Nigeria economy. The fight is not just a fight, it's a private sector driven fight. And I said to myself, because there is no one you want to do business with, and you know there's going to be money, good money from that business, which you always say clean money, that will not want to pay interest. So we want to find out, is the government interested in this fight that you say is private sector driven? Some of the names also mentioned that they've collected money from him in the course of this fight. This is all we're going to be finding out from him from this question. So welcome back as we get back to our guest, Bashili, with us up to this edition of the program, The Viewpoint with Precious. So you were saying something before we went on the short break.
Yes.
So what was that you said?
Number one, like I said, before I came here, boxing was dead. I woke it up from the dead. I became the resurrector, that's Jesus Christ of boxing. Then I brought in Terry Ray, knocked him out to become the Black Moses. Now I want to be the god of boxing by putting my name in the Guinness World Record as the oldest boxer to ever, fought for a world title. My opponent is Andy Ruiz Jr. Andy Ruiz was the guy who knocked out Anthony Joshua for the heavyweight championship.
Someone was asking me that yesterday, that you want to interview Bashali, that who is the fighting? And that is why you have to watch the program.
Andy Ruiz Jr., the guy who knocked out Anthony Joshua. That's the man I want to fight. So the entire world wants to see this.
Yes.
Is this man crazy? This man, is old enough to be this guy's, father or grandfather, and they are fighting. But like I've always said, I'm an extraordinary human being, and I'm going to beat Andy Ruiz Jr. like a bad child. So, but we're trying to put this thing together. The federal government is interested. We have done the inauguration of the local organizing committee, but corruption always comes in. Right now, this project, right now, this project is on hold. Everything I'm saying is on record. The presidency knows. I gave a letter to Mr. President, stamped April 14th, yes, to President Tinubu, April 14th.
So to show
I then
what you were
did
saying,
did it again on the 22nd. And then on the day of the press conference, as soon as I gave you a copy of the press release, I went straight to give it to Mr. President. So I've given him 3 documents, and my file is there at the presidency. All they have to do is bring Bashali's file. If you bring Bashali's file, you will see everything. Sport is one of the biggest industries in the world, and if well organized in Nigeria, devoid of corruption, will favorably compete with NNPC in generating money for the government and then creating employment for the masses. But no, they rather go to Mr. President. We are doing sports festival here. We are doing this here. But they do not know how to generate money. And when you tell them how to generate money, they are not interested. And I'm waiting for Mr. President to set up a committee to look into this, number 1. Number 2, I want Mr. President himself to re-inaugurate the Bashali Boxing Project Local Organizing Committee so it can knock out all the obstacles caused by corruption. We cannot continue to drive Nigeria backwards. I don't know if you have heard of a boxer called Mike Tyson.
Yes.
In the entire universe of 8 billion people, only 3 boxers can be in the Guinness World Record. Let me finish. Only 3 boxers can be in the Guinness World Record. Number 1, Bash Ali. Number 2, Evander Holyfield. I'm 10 years older than Evander Holyfield. Number 3, Mike Tyson. I'm 12 years older than Mike Tyson. Okay. Now, since 2006, when the federal government of Nigeria inaugurated the Bashali Boxing Project, we are still at it because of corruption. Mike Tyson came out in 8 months. 8 months, he did his fight and moved on. Bashali is at it 19 years. After 3 inaugurations by the federal government of Nigeria, is that not an indictment on the government that this government is full of corruption? And this is why I'm telling President Tinubu to personally handle this so we can go ahead and rewrite boxing history. I've met President Tinubu on several occasions.
Oh, really?
And I've never discussed anything with him but boxing. That is all. I never asked President Tinubu to give me a kobo. I never told him I'm broke. He has never given me a kobo. I never asked him for contract. The only thing we have discussed is this boxing project. And he told me, he said, I would like to host this fight so I can get the credit. Wow. But unfortunately, the people who are supposed to move, the people who are supposed to take the fight to him and say, Mr. President, this is what we're supposed to do, are not doing it because they want money.
Oh, okay, don't you think maybe because they don't really trust the process that this will not bring money or honor to the country? That was why.
There is an event in Nigeria. This event will attract 132 countries coming to Nigeria.
People? How do you know those people will come?
Because they are dying to come. Look at Saudi Arabia. My last offer was 75 million euros to come to Saudi Arabia to fight. And I said no. And I said no. I want to fight in my own country, Nigeria. 75 million euros. Saudi Arabia now has taken over, big time boxing. And one of the principal actors in Saudi Arabia is our own Anthony Joshua. Is that not a shame? Is that not an indictment on the federal government of Nigeria that your own citizen, who's supposed to be making money for you, is in another country making money for them? Is that not an indictment? That Anthony Joshua is making money for Saudi Arabia and Nigeria is here on 0 level. Everything we do will depend on oil.
Okay, you said you've met with the President Tinubu several times. So
yes.
Now, why not use the since you've met with him,
yes.
not like you haven't seen him, you've met with him, you've discussed
yes.
This fight with him,
this project with him.
This project, and he said he's interested so that he can gain the glory. And this allegation you are pulling on, have you reached out to him on this before calling for the press conference?
I have written 1 million letters to Mr. President, but they block it because I refuse to kowtow to the demand of the criminals, of the minister. I said, no, you are not going to get a kobo. Because I know Tinubu now. Tinubu is a man who wants something great to happen in Nigeria. And like I said, I know the conversations we have had before. There is no way President Tinubu will see a letter from Bashali, will not react in 24 hours. There is no way. I'm not asking him for one kobo. Don't forget, this fight is private sector driven. The federal government of Nigeria is not putting up a kobo, but to provide the enabling environment for us to excel. And the same federal government will be making serious money from this. The same federal government will get serious publicity. The whole world coming to Nigeria. As I'm talking to you now, we have over 46,000 people, spectators, who have agreed to pay $500 to come to Nigeria to be at ringside to watch this, because they want to see. It's historic. It is historic. A man who is almost 70 years old going inside the boxing ring to fight. To fight a man is old enough to be his grandfather. The war, is this a joke? Is this madness? They want to see him.
So now, you want the government to believe in this vision?
It's not that to believe in this vision. I keep telling you. The federal government of Nigeria believes in this vision. This is why they did the inauguration. The criminals, I keep telling you, so the ministers, the people are delaying it because I refuse to kowtow to their demand. I refuse to cooperate. They say when you are in Rome, like they say in Nigeria now, you must act as a Roman. I'm not, in Rome. I'm in Nigeria. I want the right thing done for my country. I want to break the jinx. This is the stage where we are. And I've told them we're not.
But are you not saying it's getting delayed?
It's delayed. Yeah. You know what? The more they delay, the bigger it becomes. If I've done this long time ago, 19 years ago, I would have been out 50 years old. Okay, a 50-year-old man breaks a Guinness World Record of sex. It's okay, it's no big deal. But 60, almost 70, now that's a big deal. Even people who are not interested in boxing, they just 70-year-old from Nigeria fighting. Oh, no. How much is it? Paper, if you want $100. Okay, go ahead, order. They want to see. So they have made it bigger. Made it bigger, not by intention, but unintentional, because they are all bad people. So what they thought they are doing to harm Bashali has turned out to become something good for me.
Okay, now because you make the process that you've seen President Tinubu
on several occasions.
So why not use the same channel to see him, since you claim you'll
to see him now? Now even governors, people who are in government are blocked. Even ministers are blocked from seeing Mr. President. Absolutely. Everything I'm saying, is absolutely correct. This is why, in the letters, I would say, because previous letters to you have been blocked. But this one now, they can't block it. They cannot block this television interview. They could not block the press conference that we had because it was everywhere.
I saw it on social media, on
everywhere.
TV,
everywhere.
TV stations.
Yeah, everywhere. So Mr. President now, I'm very sure, is asking question. Where is Bashali? So which means you guys took money and you have not done what you're supposed to do. No, Mr. President will not be happy now. Nobody will be happy, because they are killing your work. This is why I said 90% of the people that work with Mr. President do not want his success. Because if they want his success, they will make sure that they do things to make him proud. It was because of me, my advice. I told Mr. President that the the Ministry of Youth and Sports has too much obstacles, and that's why there will never be any progress. And because of my advice, he scrapped it and brought in the National Sports Commission.
Oh, really?
Because of my advice, Bash Ali advice, when you play this on air, add the 1-minute promo, where I told him remove all the obstacles. And because of me, he removed it and brought in the National Sports Commission.
So now, people are arguing with you for you saying that, telling him, give him the advice. Don't you think that is why maybe you going to step on people's toes?
People will be angry whether you do, whether you don't. A famous singer said, "Kò sọ́gbọ́n tó lè dá, kò síwà tó lè hù, kò sọ́nà tó lè mọ̀, tó lè fi táyé lọ́rùn." So there's nothing you can do to please all the masses. What I want to do, number one, please my conscience. Number two, fight for a better Nigeria. I left this country when I was 18 years old. 18. And went to America. I graduated in America. I've done everything. America does not need me. You know who needs me? Nigeria. Nigeria needs me. So I come home to Nigeria, and then you become a coward. Anything they do, you accept. You accept until you drop dead. Then you are a useless citizen. But as a useful citizen, you make your voice heard. You let people know that, yes, we can make our own country a better place.
Okay, now your final words to Nigeria and to the president himself.
Mr. President, like I said in my press conference, I want you to personally re-inaugurate the Bashali Boxing Project Local Organizing Committee so we can knock out all the obstacles caused by corruption, number one. Number two, investigate my allegation against the people who have taken money and extorted money. And if they are found wanting, then sanction them. Number three, all the monies that they have collected from me, please, Mr. President, refund the money to me. Thank you, Mr. President.
So we wish you the best
Thank
in
you
this
very much.
project, and
Thank
we wish every good thinking mind person to get into your vision. Since you said it's money driven and it's going to boost the
economy of Nigeria.
Economy.
Yes.
So we wish you the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much. See you at the ringside.
Thank you. All right, viewers, this is where we want to draw the curtain for the day. You've heard from Bashali, our guest, on today's edition. Talked about his success story, his journey into wrestling, then eventually found big interest into boxing, given that made him, give him so many opportunities that made him to have, let me use this word, that I think that process made him to make good names for himself and for the country. And he's coming at one to bring out another project to fight again, what we call the world champion of boxing. And he's appealing to the president, and because he said he has seen the president several times, and he wanted to inaugurate another committee for the fight. And he said a lot of things that could inspire you viewers to keep faith. Don't ever give up. Don't ever give up, no matter the circumstances, no matter the situation. I'm also talking to myself as well. Always have the faith that you will overcome. We want to wish Bashali on this project the best of all. So from this point, we say thank you for being part of this edition of the program, and happy new month to May celebrant, because you know what, I was born May 9th, and days to come, or weeks to come, May next week, my birthday. So thank you viewers for being part of this show. My name is Precious Ayeme. Bye for now. Keep watching this program, channel 392 on DSTV, channel 127 on Star Time, and also on Free TV and on YouTube, on all social media handles. God bless you. Bye for now.